Yeah, hello everyone. This is me Aman Kasim, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So I thought of why not to record something that is going to be very useful for the someone who are very new to the engineering world or very new to the world of education or world of mathematics. So yeah, so one thing is that for me it's a challenge that I have witnessed all over my life, that I was never able to understand integration very properly. I was, what I know is that is just we put a curvy sign and then we do some x square and dx and then put expression and then we integrate it with respect to some variable. But that does not. But why we do integration? The physical significance of that and why we do integration is something that always made me very curious. But I never find the right answer till now. So like recently, I went to a lecture by one of the faculty who is from. I think he's from IIT Kanpur. He's Professor K. Malayadas. So he teaches the integration in the most what is in the most curious, in the most the best way that anybody can understand. So when I went through his lecture, I was like, oh wow, this is one of the amazing techniques through which anybody can understand what integration is. So suppose if there is a child, if there is a child of some age, suppose 10 or 11, he does not know anything about, he just know addition and subtraction, that's all he know. And he knows a little bit about area, that what is an area and what is. So what I did was that I found a technique so that even a small child can also be able to understand what integration is. So yeah, so for that there is a very easy method through which we can understand what integration really is. Suppose we found to we need to find the integration of some variable or some expression. Let the expression be in terms of x, and then it is going to be integrated over dx as well. So yeah, so for that, what we need to do is that we need to draw a graph of that thing, and on a board, on a small board, we need to draw a graph, and then that is an exercise which we will dwell more into the video when we go through. So yeah, so I'm going to teach integration in the best way possible so that even if a child who does not know anything about numbers, anything about area, anything about integration, he heard integration for the first time, so that he can also understand that. Yeah, so let's get to the that technique of teaching even a small child on how to understand integration. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. Here's on the screen. You can see that I have a page. So suppose you want to evaluate an integration which is integrated over some limits. Lower limit is a and upper limit is b, and u is a expression of x and which is integrated with dx. So generally, what we do is that the very simple method is that you need to find a function v, which is equal to vx, such that dv by dx is equal to u. And second method is that then we can find, if we will able to find that v such that the differentiation of v is equal to u, which we had put in the integration, then we can easily evaluate, then we can evaluate I is equal to vb minus va. Like v, uh, uh, when v is put into the v, and minus when v is, sorry, value of v when b is put into that in place of x, and value minus value of v when a is put in place of x. So that's way we can integrate I. So we can find the value of I. So, but this technique is not always very helpful, because sometimes we will not be able to find that v expression, because it's very difficult by hit and trial and all. It's so if you have very complicated you will come, you will not be able to find vx. Suppose if the ux is ln x, in that case finding vx is a very difficult process. Yeah, by advanced concepts and all we can able to find, but here we are going to teach this to a very small child. Even the child will not be able to know that what is I. So this technique is not always suitable for everyone. So what we do is that we find a method in such a way that, now suppose if we want to teach this technique to a kid, he will not be able to understand all the expression that is shown over. So because it requires a lot of background knowledge. First, the kid should know what is function, limit, continuity, derivative, etc. So it is only good when for a very trained person who knows all the concepts and everything. So what we do is that we have exercise for the kid. So what we tell him is that we will take a board and we will draw the graph of the expression ux on the y and x axis, and from the interval a to b, and we will give a task to the kid. So what we give the task, we will give infinite number of chewing gums, and which is not possible. So suppose if we give 100 gums, we can give 200 gums, or maybe 20, 30 gums. We can involve lots of child into this. Into this is very like very good activity, and we can involve lots of children into this. And we say you chew a gum, and after chewing the gum, we should count the gums that how much they chew, and then we will ask them to throw the chewing gum uh, on the area on the board on which we have drawn the curve of the expression ux. So after they stick the throw the gums on the board, it stick to the board, and then we will ask them to find the total number of chewing gums that they have thrown, and the total number of chewing gums that have come below the what to say below the curve. So in that way, we can say that the value of I will be very nearly across uh, the number of gums that got stuck below the curve divided by the total number of gums that has been thrown. So we have shown the, like you can see that we have shown the uh, gums which are below the curve in blue way, and the gums which out of the curve in green way, but the total number of gums will be the sum of blue and green gums, like green points. So anybody with counting skills can find the integration in this very easy way. And how, why I'm saying, because the in this way we will be able to find the area, and this is a very simple technique that so that even a children can be able to understand. Now, I want to run this thing on what to say on a computer. So for the same, we have we have made a coding. So anybody with counting still can find the integral. And in practice, so we had over the task of counting to a machine. So it's like counting and all is very different. So that what we ended is that shaving of a gum and doing that thing is a very like a very tedious tasks. The more number of gums you will achieve, the more number of the result will be more accurate to the exact value. But it's not possible for even if you even if you employ 5 to 6 childs, 10 childs, not more than that, and everybody has capacity of chewing only you can say 10, 20 chewing gums. It's not good for them also, like health wise. So we will give this task to a laptop, to a programming computer. What we do that is we are coding the same thing what we are doing there in a Python compiler. So I I think this can be understood by the people who has a little bit of knowledge on Python. And so we have import random as rand methods. So the same thing we have did, but the what to say as suppose we are integrating a sin x. So uh, since the our limit is from 0 to pi, so x we have defined as empty dot pi rand dot. So it can only vary between 0 to pi, and y since sin x the maximum value is 1 and the minimum value is 0. So 0 to 1 sine will also it will oscillate between these two things. And then we will define the function which is empty dot sin x, that is sin x. And if y is less than or equal to fx, so this is the process of the one which we are doing physically by using chewing gums and throwing it on the board and calculating the number of gums which is below the curve, and the total number of gums, and dividing the number of gums that is below the which is shown by blue dots, which is below the curve, divided by total number of gums. That will give the integration, but it will be it will not be approximate. It will be very closer to the exact value. if the number of gums that we have thrown is very large, suppose 100,000 and all. So that is not possible. That's why we are programming this. And after programming this, what output I found is that it is 2.00006 in the but analytically the value is 2. So we can see that the value coming is very close to 2, but also there is some approximation that we need to do. There is some like the error come at the very what you said 10 to the power minus 4 part. So yeah, numerical methods are generally repeatable, but in this case, output varies slightly within and in each run, suppose now I want the task is you try this program. If you are going to run this program on your computer, everyone will find a very different. Like first time I run, I found a value 2.0006. Second time it was 1.999, but every time it is very close to 2. So yeah, so this is one of the method that I want to teach, so that everybody understand that what exactly integration is. And so yeah, this is all about the integration. I find it's very helpful. I thought why not to share with everybody who's in my YouTube as an audience. So because for me, when I was in 12th and even when I was in college, I did not understand the physical significance or the main significance of integration because I have not been taught in this way. But thanks to Professor K. Maladas who have taught me it in the most best way possible, and I haven't like it's a very like even we played a little bit of game in it by the putting the chewing gum and throwing the chewing gum. So it's like a very useful concept for me. And yeah, so this is how the integration is very easy. So I just also want to say that in the education system, we like in our Indian education system, we should always incorporate these types of concept, these types of games, so that everybody, even if you are human, like even if you are adult, we still understand the concepts by such games and such small things, such fundamental things. So this is something which is like I understand, and I thought I definitely want to record this and I want to show it to my audience. So yeah, that's all about integration. I hope everybody understand it in the best way possible. Thank you.